Hey everyone, this is question 5 from the multiple choice section of the 2017 software development exam. So if you notice down here, we've got a few notes in here because this question is all about software requirements and specifications. So your SRS that you would have already, by the time you've done the exam, would have already written one and would have come to love and know. If you're studying for the exam, you may or may not have written this yet. But the software requirement specification, also known as our SRS, I'm just going to go through just the gist of what you'll expect to see at SRS. So we've got our functional and non-functional requirements, our constraints, our scope. Sometimes we might describe our operating environments, where our software will be used by our users. Where will they be? Will it be at their workplace? Is their workplace driving around? Is it mobile? Is it at their desk? Is it for users at home? That's the sort of operating environment that we'll be describing. The collected data. So by this stage, you would have collected some data from your users about how they typically use software, what do they need their software for, what do they want in terms of their software, and the data that we collect from them will be put into our SRS. Another thing as well, just a few diagrams such as our context diagram, our data flow diagrams, DFDs, and our use case diagrams for each of our functional requirements. So I've gone through a little bit of what's in store for our SRS. Let's go on to our question. So our first choice is software testing plan. This is typically done in our design stage. Which comes after our analysis stage, and essentially our software requirement specification is a report that puts together all of our analysis stage. So it needs to be done before our design stage and hence software testing plan. So that one we can eliminate. User interface designs. So these are things like mock-ups or annotated diagrams. These are also done in our design stage. Design. So this one's done in our design stage and cannot be placed in our SRS, because our SRS would have been completed before we even start these two steps. Next one is our project management plan. So you can think of these as your Gantt chart. So when you see a project management plan for software development VCE, think of that as your Gantt chart, which was done right before our analysis stage. So before we even start our SRS, the Gantt chart should have already been completed, or at least the outline of it, because we'll be annotating that as we move on for our project. But it's typically not included in our SRS. So we can cross that one out. So this leaves us with the last one, D, constraints on our solution, which is one of the things in here that is included in our SRS, our constraints. So D is the final answer.